A quick video today on one of the things that drives men crazy. And I think there's not a woman among us who hasn't done this. And it's really, really negative for any relationship, whether you're just dating or whether you're in a relationship, married, what have you, across the board. Men don't like it, drives them crazy, and let's not do it. But you have to be aware of something to not do it, okay? Because you're going to feel something and you do it out of your feelings and you do it with the best of intentions. And what that is going back. So I say don't go back. What do I mean by this? When something happens, we have a discussion, something negative happens in the relationship, something he's done. And maybe you did address it in the moment, maybe you didn't. But it's festering with you, and you keep thinking about it, and you want to fix it, and you want it to change, and you want to feel better by having a discussion about it and working through it. Well, I have to tell you that through all my years of doing this work, and certainly personally, it does not work well at all to do this with men. It drives them crazy, and it gives them an unsettled, negative feeling about you. And we don't want that. Again, no matter whether you're just dating or in a relationship or married, it just doesn't work well, first of all. And if something's not working, let's not do it. And I'm going to give you what does work better. And I'm going to give you an example of why I believe it is so profound for men. It's one of the principles in my book, and it's when I say principles, it's actually one of my gender gaps. We women relate via verbalization. Men relate via action. And so any discussion about things is uncomfortable for them. They don't like it. They don't do well in it. When we don't do well in something, we don't usually like it much. Now, it can get better through practice, but it's not the natural stance for men. You will often see this in sports, and maybe you will get this, that men will relate. You can see it from little boys up through pro sports. Men and boys something will happen when they're at play or they're actually playing a sport, and somebody does something that they don't like, and they get into a fight. It can be verbal, and then it may escalate to something more. Well, interestingly enough, they deal with it in the moment, and then it's done. And then they can go on and be high-fiving each other later in very short order. And you think, wow, because we women don't relate like that. We relate through verbalization. It takes much longer for our feelings to just snap from one to the other. And you might be holding on to something. But here's what you do instead of bringing it up and trying to relate through verbalization and going back. It's going to hurt you to go back because he's going to hate that. One of the reasons he hates it so much is he doesn't recall it in the way that you do, unfortunately. It would be like, I thought about this, trying to use some kind of analogy that would maybe be cute and kind of fun, but you would get it. It would be like, you know how if you have a pet, you have a cat or a dog, and they relate in very much the same way, and you kind of know them, and there's no big surprises. Once they're past the really little stage and you've trained them, there's no real surprises there. So day after day just kind of rolls into one, correct? I mean, you just kind of know how they are and that's it. So if your puppy, meaning your doggy, say, or your older cat, could talk, and they come to you one day and they just start talking, and they say to you, you know, last week, do you remember when I was under the couch and I was doing XYZ, and you said whatever you said, and it really hurt me. And you're thinking, time under the couch? I mean, it's every day. You don't change. This is what you do. In other words, you would have no idea. But you're looking at your doggy or kitty, and you want to love them and you want to understand, and you kind of glaze over and you're like, yeah. You don't remember because it's just all rolling into one for you because it doesn't register for you. this is what it's like for the man. And it may be pretty profound for you. And you think, well, if it's not registering with him, then there's something really profoundly wrong. Not necessarily. No. It's the differences between men and women. And he's going to relate via action. He may be holding it, he may remember, but the chances are that it's going to be more like that glazed over feeling, like you don't know, and you feel unarmed in this discussion because you don't remember to the degree. It's very disconcerting. It's going back. Because if your puppy in the moment could talk to you when they were under the couch and you said something like, I hate when you're under the couch, and puppy just started talking and said, but I love it under here, and I want you to, love me and pet me and whatever, you could deal with it then. And that's key here. You're going to have to sit with your feelings, really wipe the slate clean when you see him next or when you're interacting with him. Don't go back. It likely will happen again. I want you to get ready for when it happens again. How you will handle it differently, what you will say. Play it out in your mind so that you will show him the calm and confident knowing and really being, like this worthy opponent, so that in that moment you spar or whatever and then it's done. He is going to love you for that because this is how he as a man relates and likes to relate. You're speaking his language in a way. You're speaking man. But you as this feminine, wonderful being, it's going to really raise you up in his eyes. This is very simple. Listen to this again. Remember, it's the repetition to get to the knowing. And you think about it and you be mindful of it. And if there's something gnawing at you and you're tempted to go back, I want you to future it. Know that it's going to happen again. Maybe it's different circumstances, maybe you're in a different place, but he will react the same way he reacted before, most likely. So, you're going to say the right thing then. And it's going to be in that calm, confident knowing. You're not going to be putting him down. You're not going to be saying something ugly or unduly negative. You're going to be doing something flirty and cute, like, if you were to stop doing that, we could have a lot of fun today. Something that is going to inspire him, like that challenge. Think of sports again. Buddy, you did something wrong in the field. I'm challenging you. Don't do it again, right? That is going to inspire him to be, it's key. It's going to inspire him to be more for you. And he's going to love that you don't go back. You're staying in the now and looking ahead to the relationship that you desire, deserve. That's what I'm all about, helping you get. I hope this was helpful. I trust that it was. And I will see you next time on the next video. Until then. I trust you got a lot of helpful and useful information in today's video. Come back to it anytime you need a reminder. Don't forget, it's about the repetition that really gets this into your heart and mind so you keep up with the great results you can get from doing what works with men. Go to CoachPaulagrooms.com if you have any more questions, you want to check out my programs, my podcast, my book. Perhaps this is your year for working with someone to get the Mr. Right results that you desire and deserve.